Good evening. Everybody had a nice dinner? Yeah? Why not give a round of applause for all the men who cooked the meat for us? Thank you very much. Including myself. Thank you. Yeah, it wasn't the best condition. It wasn't quite up to our usual standards, but I'm sure you guys had, enough. So that was good. Thank you once again for the praise team and all the staff member. Wonderful to have everyone here, ready, eager, looks like, hopefully. There's another person I want to thank. If you look towards your chest this evening, all of you have your name tags on. My eyesight isn't so good that I can read what's on your tag from this distance, but you can look at it. This is made and handed to us by our deacon Kevin. Thank you very much. However, thank you for the tags. However, I believe everybody, what's written on here doesn't really represent you correctly. At least not enough. There we go. 제가 한 건가요? 아니면 거기서 해주신 건가요? 안 하셨어요? 오. 오케이, great. 시간이 걸리면 좀 되나 봐요. So it says things like Summer Retreat 2026, August, blah, 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 Wangsung Church English Ministry, including your name. It does describe this event. It does tell you your legal name, right? But that's about it. It's almost like it's a label. However, we often wear labels that don't really fit us. I have a thing. It's my wallet. And I'm sure some of you have this. Well, maybe not, because mine is a little different, right? This is my registration card. I don't know if you can see it, but I am a category F4. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Any F4s here? No F4s, see? I told you I'm special, right? I'm special because this is 외국 국적 동포 국내 거소 신고증. It's quite lengthy. What it means is that it says overseas Korean resident card. So this belongs to someone like me who was either born in Korea or born under Korean parents overseas and have acquired citizenship elsewhere other than Korea. So that's me. I was born in Korea, so I was born a Korean citizen. But when I was younger, I moved to Canada with my parents and obtained my Canadian citizenship there. Therefore, voiding my Korean citizenship. Because Korean citizenship is very fickle. If you acquire any citizenship elsewhere, your Korean citizenship gets void, right? So when I moved back to Korea, I had to file that I actually lost my Korean citizenship by confirming that I gained Canadian citizenship, right? Do you see how that works? Yeah. So even though I was born in Korea, born with a Korean citizenship, because I received citizenship somewhere else, I lost it. So now I'm here with an F4 visa. That's my case. Yeah. Some of you may have this, right? It says resident card. How many of you have this one? Quite a few, actually. Sure. I don't know how long you've been in Korea, but they changed this card some years ago. Do you know what it was used to call? Yes. It used to be called alien registration card. So, I do have to say, Korean people in general, even in an official standard, are pretty lenient, right? Because I can show you my F4 card because it's Korean official document, but I will never show you my US driver's license or my US green card or my Canadian passport. You know I'll never show it to you? Because I'm sure if you look at your passports too, right? Every one of them looks like I'm a criminal. Because Korean registration cards allow a certain degree of Photoshop. Did you know that? Yeah, so everybody can look a better version of themselves. A little cleaner, right? Minus the wrinkles, highlight certain parts, right? Everybody looks better in a Korean registration card. But US driver's license, passport, citizenship card, whatever, it all looks like I'm holding up a sign as if I'm just being put into a jail. Yeah. So Korean people are more lenient that way. However, as we mentioned, they did used to call it alien registration card. So about, 38, 39, 40 of us in this room are officially aliens, extraterrestrial, right? Deemed by the Korean government, saying you are actually aliens, right? As I said, they changed the wording eventually. Somebody in the office finally thought, this word looks very, very offensive or weird or different or not correct. But some of you carry this card in your pocket for years and years. And what a card does is define who you are. And it's somewhere along the way, you start to believe what it says on the card, right? Why are you the person that you are? Why is your name Joseph? Because it's written on my card that says that's who I am, right? You have the names that are written on your birth certificates. And that's the name that you have been sticking to your whole life. While I was preparing for this sermon, and on general, because I get to meet Filipino people on a regular basis, and I did used to live in Vancouver before moving to Korea, where they have a very big number of Filipino community, right? So I ran into a fair share of Filipino people, and I always found it very interesting. Your names, very, very interesting. I've met a man who was about 80, or back then was like 50-something years old, had many, many grandkids, and his name was? I met a person who, she had like 4 legal names, right? I don't know how you can remember all four of them, but what they used to call her was entirely different. None of her name is Bing Bing, but they call her Bing Bing, but she has four different names. But they call her this. I don't know why. Okay, I'm not Filipino, I don't know why, but you know. And there's always a Junjun, isn't there? Right? Especially to non-Filipino people like myself. Right? And even our Korean staff, do you know the reason why they wanted to make this? Because other than our guests today, even though the regular members are here, of our church members, we have no idea what your names are, usually. Or how to pronounce them correctly, or how to say them correctly, because we don't want to offend you, right? We've seen each other for the last, I don't know, years. We don't know how to call you, to be honest. Right? That's why you wanted to make this, to make sure. Because I was pretty sure that this person was called such and such. But on a written, statement, whatever, they sound different. So like, did I get the name wrong? It's like, am I talking about that person or this person or, yeah. Even I was looking at today's guest list, and nothing really jumps out other than names like Arsenio. Oh, interesting name. I don't know how you got that name. Yeah, a lot of interesting names. Some pretty regular. But then there's like Maria F.E. What is F.E.? See? You guys know this by nature, by heart. But we're like, is it short for like what, Fernandez? Or what is it? Like, we don't know. We don't know how to call it because we don't want to, call you by the wrong name and offend you somehow, right? Who's Maria? Hi. Is it just Maria Faye, or is that how you say it? Or, yeah? Maria Faye. See? Very, very interesting. Very, very different. Very, very different. And very, to be honest, very weird, guys. To the non-Filipino person. Very weird. But it goes both ways, right? Like, my name's easy because it's English name, but I'm sure even our regular members don't know the actual names of our Korean staff, even though you've seen them many times over the years, every week, in and out. You start calling everybody 집사님, Yeah, just to be safe, right? You don't know, so like, oh, 집사님, And usually you're pretty much right? Or 장로님, 집사님, whatever, then, yeah, but you don't really know their names, do you? Both ways. It's that's just what it is. It's a different culture, different, I guess, customs. I mean, what is second nature to you guys is totally alien to us. And what is totally normal for us is totally alien to you, even though you've been living in Korea, you've been here for years and years, and you've learned the language and the culture. Some things are just very foreign still. It's understandable, right? Somehow, somewhere along the way, however, the things that get to us, like our names, which is very interesting, but they are also the mirrors that show us who we are. However, as I said before, this name tag does not describe who you are perfectly, because many of us, even when we look into the mirrors, we're not actually seeing who we are. in a perfect sense. What I mean by that, in James chapter 1, it says, he looks at himself and goes away at once, forgets what he was like. What does that mean? He's talking about a person who hears the word of God